Welcome to Best Practice in Accounting with me, Rob Brown. On behalf of the Accounting Influencers Podcast Network, 5 shows going out to the accounting and fintech world all over the place. I'm thrilled to have with me today Will Farnell, author of The Digital Firm and runner of a firm himself, Farnell Clark. Will, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Rob. Great to be here.
Will, I usually banter with Martin Bissett on what really works for accounting firms. You're on the front line, you've got a very innovative firm. So we're asking you about what really works with stuff you're doing. This is the Best Practice show. So today you're going to talk to us about getting close to clients. Why is that important, first of all?
If we think about what we do as accountants, Rob, our role is to support our clients run better businesses, better lives, make more money, really understanding what is it that they're aspiring to do in both their personal life and their business life. And I think there's something in that straight away that it's really easy for accountants to get stuck on what's right for the business. But actually, we've got to start with what's right for the business owner, because somebody might have some personal objectives in their life that might not directly result to, I want to make a whole ton of money from my business. It might be that they want to be able to have time to do things outside of their business. So we've got to understand what the business owner's drivers are before we start thinking about how do we best support their business. And the only way we do that is by getting close to the client. Now, we have an opportunity when a client first comes along and we onboard them into our business because we've talked to them about the accounting services they need. That's the first opportunity that we have to really understand what your customer's striving to do, really getting to know your customer. So KYC, we talk about KYC from a regulatory point of view in terms of what are the things that we have to do from a money laundering perspective. But actually, we need to be using that opportunity to get to know your customer in a very different way, in a non-regulatory way, that's about how can we best serve you? How can we help you deliver the objectives that you have in your personal life, but in your business life? That's a start, of course. It's then, what do we do? Because it's really easy to then fall into reaction mode. And we've got the client on board, they're signed up, we're providing them accounting services, we're going to do their VAT returns, and we're going to help them with their accounts at the end of the year. But these things change over the course of the year. So their objectives might change. They might have challenges. So how do we make sure that we're really close to the client? And we've come out of COVID. And during COVID, I had some really interesting conversations with accounting firm owners through the mentoring work that I do. And we were hearing from accountants that our clients are really loving what we're doing for them at the moment.
We're really close to our clients, implying that we weren't as close before the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was kind of feedback they were getting from clients that all of a sudden it was clients were telling the accountants how grateful they were for the support that they were giving them.
Yeah.
And I'd kind of probe that in terms of, well, what's changed? What are you doing at the moment that you weren't doing before? And they'd say, well, we're kind of sharing all of the stuff that the government are telling us about furlough and CBILS and bounce back loans and all of the things that government is doing to help these small businesses. And we need to tell the clients what's going on and how they can get the support. So the question then is, well, is there a correlation here? So you're now going out every 2 weeks and you're talking to your clients about things that the government are telling you that will make a difference to your client's life. Can you correlate that to the fact that your clients are currently saying, hey, you're doing a great job and it's great to have you in our corner? All you're doing is you're engaging with your client on a more regular basis than you used to before. And suddenly your client is really valuing what you're delivering for them. So take a moment to think about that and what happens when the government stops drip feeding you with things to talk to your clients about every 2 weeks.
That is the learning point, isn't it? It's been a lot more proactive. We saw many accountants who claimed to be proactive throughout the pandemic, saying, we're here for you and talk to us if you need anything. But throughout that complexity and uncertainty of the pandemic, clients didn't know what they needed. They didn't know what to ask for. They didn't know what to lean into their accountant for. So being proactive is reaching out to your clients for whatever reason, a little more than just saying, how are you doing? Yeah. But it is a more structured process, and it shouldn't have to happen as a result of COVID. It should happen naturally.
Absolutely. And if we think about what I said at the beginning in terms of understand what your client's objectives are, how can you best support those? But if we recognize that actually regular engagement with our clients means we have better quality client relationships, clients become stickier, they're less likely to leave. We talk a lot about the importance of net promoter score. Understand where your clients sit on that scale, because actually, if you've got nines and tens, they're not going anywhere. The 6, 7, and 8s are the ones that, if they get that call, they might think, oh yeah, I'll have a conversation, because they're not disappointed, but they're not delighted. So how do we move clients into delighted? And the start point is, we saw that talking to them every couple of weeks made them delighted. Yes. So what can we do? How do we think about the services that we deliver that give us an opportunity to be deliberate about engaging with our clients? I'm a huge advocate of doing daily bookkeeping, and we do that for about 60% of our client base. And what it means is we're talking to our 60% of our client base once a week.
Because you've got so many more reasons to reach out to them, haven't you?
Absolutely. As I say, it's making it deliberate. It's delivering services that make that regular client contact deliberate. And when we talk about client experience, which is something that goes beyond good client service, so client experience for me is, how do you make a client feel? And the theory is that client experience is a sum total of all of the touch points you have with a client, from first point of contact to last point of contact. So being an accountant, I look at that, and if it's a sum, if there's a sum involved and it's a sum total, the more of them they have, the better the experience.
As a former high school maths teacher, I can tell you that one. It's adding things together, isn't it? The sum.
Absolutely.
So it compounds. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's have loads of them. Let's find ways to be deliberate. And you mentioned proactive. And I think proactive is one of those words that every accountant puts on their website. The question now is it innovative? Because everyone now says we're an innovative firm of accountants. But we've got to live and breathe it. We've got to do the things that we say. But if you want to deliver great client experience, if it is the sum total of every contact you have with a client, simply having more means you will deliver a greater client experience. And if we're delivering great experiences, clients are going to talk to other people. They become those promoters. They refer new business. And a good friend of ours said something once that stuck with me, that as an accounting firm, if I can't remember it as 70 or 80%, you'll perhaps remember. But if 70% of your new business isn't coming from your existing clients in the form of client referrals, you better take a look in the mirror, because you're not doing something right in your firm. So everything we do should be focused on client experience. And within my book, Digital Firm, I have a wheel that is all the elements of the digital firm, and the hub of the wheel is client experience. In my book, The Digital Firm, it centers around my digital firm wheel, and at the hub of the wheel is client experience. So what that says is all of the things around the outside, that are things like technology, process, pricing, all of those things are completely irrelevant if it doesn't enhance client experience. So we don't adopt technology for the sake of technology. We adopt technology if there is a tangible or intangible improvement in the experience we deliver to clients. So it's just thinking about, how do we think about the way we structure our business and the services that we deliver that collectively are going to increase the number of touch points to keep us close with our clients. Because when we're close to our clients, the COVID experiment told us that clients value what we do more because we engage with them on a more regular basis.
Yeah. And you mentioned some of the benefits there. If you, for no other reason, getting close to your clients does help retention. So there's less churn. Yep. You talked about referrals briefly, but the other one is all the cross-selling and upselling opportunities, because the more you talk to them, the more advisory services, the more different product lines you can help them with.
Yep. Is that understanding comes back to, what are the things that the client is trying to achieve in both personal business life? How can we take steps to help them do that faster, more efficiently, in a more profitable way? And you're absolutely right. It's like, if you don't have those conversations, you're not going to identify those opportunities for delivering additional value through other services, which of course in turn generates more revenue for you as a firm.
Yeah. So, Will, just to wrap this up, what are 2 or 3 things that our accounting practitioners can take away from this in getting closer to their clients? What can they tangibly do?
So I think first point is start with the onboarding. What are you doing in that onboarding process? You've got to do all of this AML stuff, which is really dull. Nobody likes to do it. It's very administrative. So how can we use that administrative opportunity to do something that's going to create some value for the start of the client relationship? And then it's think about the services. Think about the services that you can deliver that provide you a deliberate opportunity to get closer to your clients. And if you haven't got those services, just look at how do we diarize to call and just have a chat with every client we've got once a month or whatever. Work out, I mean, if you've got 200 clients, then 1 a day means at least you're going to talk to them once a year to just understand what are the challenges you're facing, what are the things that are keeping you up at night, because they're the things that are going to generate new opportunities for you to make a positive difference to your clients.
Yeah. But Will, I'm just hearing some accountants saying, well, I haven't got time for this. You're talking about reaching out to my clients every day. I haven't even got time to do that once a year. So what would you say to them?
I think it's a choice of services. So when I set up Farnell Clark back in 2007, I had views that were held by many accountants at the time, and to a point still are, around bookkeeping. And for me, bookkeeping is the key to the door here. So bookkeeping now, if you're using the right technology, the right people, and the right process, can become a really cost-effective service for your clients, but also a profitable service for you as an accounting firm. So get that process, technology, people mix right, and you can deliver that really efficiently. We average about 4 minutes per day per client doing daily bookkeeping for our clients. So it doesn't have to be the firm owner that's having those conversations. It's about somebody in the team being visible to the client. And even if it is chasing them for missing paperwork, you're in their mind. When I talk about advisory, and people often say we've got to stop doing compliance, we've got to do advisory. Advisory is really simple. Advisory is simply having great relationships with your clients. If you have a great relationship with your clients, then you're front of mind. So my firm will be doing advisory when every client we've got picks up the phone and asks every question they've got. It's as simple as that.
Love it.
So if we can get that happening, it may be that we can't directly answer every question that people have got, but option 1 is we do it on the phone then and there. Option 2 is we generate a work order and do some more work. Option 3 is we refer it to somebody in our network to help our client. It really is that simple, and getting close to your clients enables you to build that level of relationship that means you become the first port of call for everything your client needs.
Love that. We'll find out practical insights for our accounting practitioners. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Rob.